Hello and welcome to the eLearning Author Limited YouTube channel. In this series of videos, I'm sharing a behind-the-scenes walkthrough of a recent project I created in Adobe Captivate. So far this series, I've introduced the project and explained how it works, talked about customizing the Captivate workspace, described how I group items on the timeline, shown how I created multi-state objects for the project, talked about advanced and shared actions, and last week I talked about the drag and drop activity I set up on the second slide of the project. If you haven't already watched these videos, there's a link in the top right corner to take you to the playlist. In this and subsequent videos, which will be posted weekly, I'll continue walking through the various elements in the project in Adobe Captivate. Just to be clear, this isn't a traditional tutorial showing a step-by-step process, although there will be elements of that. It's more an insight into how I approached my project. Hopefully some of the ideas covered here will spark some aha moments for you, or perhaps provide some inspiration as to what you can achieve in Captivate. My intention here is to show how I approached my project. There are inevitably multiple ways to achieve every outcome, and different people will prefer different approaches. Please feel free to share any constructive thoughts relating to creating or designing projects in Adobe Captivate in the comments below. You can run the project yourself if you wish from my website www.elearningauthor.co.uk. Just click Sample Modules in the top right corner, then click the Photography Skills sample, or you can click the link in the comments below. In this video, I'll be talking about the question slides I created in this project. There's lots of ways of creating questions, including using the options on the quiz menu. The difference between question slides and knowledge check slides is that question slides are intended to be scored, and when you add a question slide, a results slide will be automatically generated. There are multiple styles of question slide that you can insert using Captivate, which give you a great starting place for designing questions. Notice that if I choose one of the question styles, as I chose the knowledge check option, the graded drop-down list is not available. To use that, I would need to select the question slide option from the quiz menu. Also, notice that the rating scale and random question options are not available for knowledge check questions, only for question slides. The quiz preferences option allows you to set up how you want the quiz to work, including pass and fail rates, and how the quiz information is reported to the LMS. In this project, the scenario-based questions are knowledge checks, so reporting is not set up, and there is no results slide. I've already mentioned that you can create a wide variety of question slides using the menu, but you can also create questions manually using click boxes. I find this works well when you already have your graphics in place and don't need the structure that Captivate automatically sets up when you create a question or knowledge check slide. If we look at the timeline on this slide, you'll see that I have a group containing the items that make up the question text and the background. Then, another group containing the answers. I also have a group containing the image and its attribution. With those elements in place, all I then needed to do was to add a click box and place it on top of the correct answer. If I select the click box and we look on the Properties panel, you can see that I've set it to 1 attempt and have included failure and success captions. If the correct answer is selected, you move to the next slide. And if you choose the wrong answer, the failure caption tells you the correct answer, and then you move to the next slide. If I had wanted to include this question in a scored quiz, I would have chosen the Include in Quiz checkbox at the bottom of the panel. The other two questions are set up in the same way. If you set questions up this way, a feature I find particularly useful to keep track of the click boxes is the Advanced Interaction option, which is found in the Project menu. To be honest, this is probably one of my favourite features in Captivate, as it brings together information about all the interactions within a project and allows you to keep track of what's happening. I find it particularly helpful as a way to check for consistency with similar interactions. For example, if I want to check that I've set up the same number of attempts for similar question styles. So here we can see the items on slides 1 and 2 that I've talked about in previous videos, but here let's focus on slides 3, 4 and 5. I'll collapse all the slides and then just expand slide 3. If we look at the click box on slide 3, the waterfall scenario, we can see that the on success is set to go to the next slide. In the attempts column, we can see the number of attempts that have been set for this click box. Then we can see what happens if the question is failed. Most of the remaining columns are blank, as this is a knowledge check question, and we can see that the including quiz option is set to no. I'll expand slide 4, the mushroom scenario, where we can see that the question is set up in the same way. And again for slide 5, the cave scenario. One of the best things, in my opinion, is that when I select the click box on another question slide, Captivate jumps to that slide for me and I can access the properties panel over on the right for this item. It makes it very useful if you want to make some changes to multiple slides in your project and want a quick way to jump through the relevant item on each slide. Do note that whichever slide you're clicked on when you close this dialog box is the one that you'll see in the main workspace. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to run the project yourself, you can do so from my website. There's a link in the description below. Next time, I'll be talking about the closed captions I set up for this project. If there's anything Captivate related that you'd like me to cover in a future video, please do let me know in the comments and I'll add them to my list of future videos to create. Videos are posted weekly on Mondays. Please do subscribe to make sure you don't miss them.